Okay. 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 Here's the real reason. In my opinion, in my thoroughly well researched opinion of the last 3 hours, this is what I think is happening. This is why Will Smith charged the mound on Chris Rock and gave him an absolute slap of the century. Okay, which Chris Rock took like a complete boss. I mean, the man has a face of steel and a heart of gold. Okay, it was absolutely beautiful to watch him just laugh off that slap, and that was no joke of a slap. Here's the thing: he's laughing off the slap, but like if I would have got slapped like that, I would have been freaking Rock, dude. I would have been on my butt for sure. And he just laughs it off and keeps going. Like, what a professional! What an absolute unit! Okay, that Chris Rock is. I want to put that shot out there, my boy. Anyway, so there's got to be a reason that Will Smith would do something like as absolutely insane as this. Whoa, like people don't do this crap just like on a whim. Like you can have a hot temper, but it takes a lot. It takes a lot on live television in front of such a big audience to do something so extreme as to walk in a cold fury all that way and slap a man in the face in front of like a million people. I mean, that's freaking nuts. And here's why I think it happened. Okay, it wasn't because of an insult. Okay, it wasn't because of the joke. It all comes down to Will and Jada, okay? And it's because Will was and probably still is, from as much as I can tell, an empathetic and loyal and caring and like level-headed, relaxed person, right? And he's a person that is still very much in love with Jada Pickett Smith, and he's infatuated with her. And when he finds out that she's cheating on him, and she's dragging his name through the mud a little bit, and the only way for him to maintain the relationship that they have, that he feels attached to, that he feels like he needs, that he has to have, is to accept this idea of this open marriage, which is like literally it's just an oxymoron. Like the idea that we're going to try to, as a society, to promote that as like something that actually makes sense or is in any way remotely good is just like completely ridiculous. But all that aside, like Will cares about her a lot, and if you can imagine someone that you love like being in that scenario and thinking that you'd be okay with it, like you're not going to be. Like some people probably are because they're a little bit sociopathic, but if you're like a mentally healthy person who genuinely cares about someone and you're in that situation, it's going to rock you. It's going to rock you harder than getting slapped on national television by Will Smith. Like that's just a fact. And so I think that he's felt societally pressured, for one, to accept this idea of an open marriage, and then for two, like he doesn't want to lose his wife, so he's like, yeah, I guess I'll just throw away, completely bury my pride, and crush my own mental health and live with the complete cognitive dissonance of having to pretend like you're okay with your wife sleeping with all these other guys, and like maybe, and I'm sure he's sleeping with other women, maybe because he genuinely wants to, or maybe more likely, in my opinion, as an attempt to try to even the playing field mentally, or just as some sort of relief for mental anxiety or stress, or some people, that's something you can turn to, other relationships or sex, to try to numb the pain or make yourself feel better. But I think he's deeply attached to her, he's infatuated with her, and she's not reciprocating that same thing. In fact, she's dangling her love in front of him like a carrot, and she's withholding it very intentionally, and she has a very dangerous and sick mental hold over him, and he has to keep it bottled up and pretend like it's okay, and he's just very mentally unstable because of it. And I'm not saying it's like necessarily like a Johnny Depp situation, but it's a similar thing where she's, I think, manipulating him, and it's manifesting in this really weird, like overly aggressive, overly protective scenario where he feels like he needs to, like some sort of medieval knight, rip off a glove and go up and slap someone in defense of her honor, as like this desperate ploy to try to make himself worthy of her and try to get her attention and prove to her his love. And I guarantee you, he went home and she was just like, well, why didn't you knock him on his ass? Like, why was he still standing up there? You suck. Like, you didn't even slap him hard enough. You probably don't even care about me. Like, it's obviously a huge like conjecture. I have zero proof of that. It's probably not true, but that's what I imagine happening. Like him trying to do this and her just berating him for it further, like further squeezing that vice of mental torment around his brain and around his heart. And I think that's what it is. I think she's driving him crazy, and I don't think you need much more evidence of that than the fact that he stormed the stage on national television and slapped Chris Rock in the face. Like, what makes people do crazy things? Love. We know that. We've got enough stories about that, right? So I think that's what it has to come down to. Why did he do it? Because he's mentally unhealthy, mentally unstable, and being manipulated and mentally abused by a wife that won't reciprocate his love, his unrequited love. And it's driving him crazy. And what you get from that is Chris Rock getting slapped in the face. Uh, that's my opinion. That's my thoughts. That's what I see in the scenario. Even just looking at their faces. I mean, Jada looks like a evil succubus and like, whatever. She looks dead inside. And Will looks like a broken man, quite frankly. But could be completely wrong. That's my thought. I think if it makes sense, it kind of fits a little bit of the details that I know. I'd be curious to hear other people's thoughts on this. So, comment, engage, let me know what you think. Thanks for listening. Peace out.